Welcome to the Well. Thank you for joining me for this special update on our plans for reopening during this COVID-19 situation. Uh, First and foremost, I want to let you know that this decision has not been made lightly. The pastoral staff has been in great prayer and discernment as to what the proper steps are for our congregations to meet together again face to face and what we need to do from there. With that said, I need you to know that we have decided that we would come together and worship again face to face as a whole charge. We have three churches that are in two different counties, and as we saw with the yellow phase, Columbia County had gone to the yellow phase 1 week prior to Luzerne County. With that being the case, it is likely to happen again with going into the green phase. So we want to phase everybody in together. And part of that reason being is all the restrictions that are placed on us to be able to worship together and to really enjoy the worship that we have together. So I know everybody is wondering, well, what are we going to do? When are we going to get back together face to face if it's not going to be during yellow? During green, we will plan to get back together face to face. And the reason we're not doing it for our Sunday worship during the yellow phase is because of the fact that we would have to have multiple services at each of our sites to be able to accommodate everybody. We would force everybody to wear face masks. You would have to be socially distant. You would have to come in, sit down, listen to us preach, get up, and leave without any socializing, giving hugs, anything like that. And we also wouldn't be able to sing together. So it's one of those deals where we decided it's really not worth our while to go through all of that just for you to sit down and listen to us talk when you could be sitting at the comfort of your own home listening to us preach to you as well. Add into that the necessary steps to clean in between each of the services. And the fact that we are limited on not only our persons that are available to do the cleaning, but also the actual cleaning supplies. They still are limited to be able to acquire to do the proper cleaning for what we need and sanitizing in between each service. With that, the need to have probably 3 or 4 services at Waller and another 4 or 5 services at Town Hill, another 7, 8 services at Benton, all in one weekend. It's just a lot to take on just for you all to come in, sit down, and listen to us preach. So we decided the best step right now would be to continue to worship virtually, and we will continue to monitor all of the guidance given to us from the CDC, from our local governmental leaders, as well as our denominational and conference leadership to see what kind of recommendations they give, what kind of guidelines we have that we have to abide by to be able to worship together and do so without having to worry with a bunch of extra things. So even though we will not be worshiping together face to face for our worship on Sundays during the yellow phase, we are going to phase back in some meetings and some Bible studies and things like that with the well during this time. So during this time, our Sunday school classes are encouraged to discuss whether they'd like to meet face to face or continue to meet during a special time over Zoom. We also want our Bible study small groups to discuss that. Now, one of the things that we would require you to do when you meet is you would have to wear a face mask if you're meeting in our buildings. You would also have to keep your social distancing guidelines in check. So if you are not living in the same household as somebody, you are to keep 6 feet of distance between yourself and them. You also will have hand sanitizer that's expected to be used during this time, and you wouldn't be able to sing or anything like that. That would be strongly, strongly discouraged. But you would have to wear a face mask, and you would have to also keep the group to no more than 12 people because our rooms that we have available for this are not that large. So to be able to keep the safe distances and have your group together, the maximum size of your group would be 12 for Bible studies, for small groups, for Sunday schools. We do encourage the youth group to determine whether they'd like to meet face to face. or if they want to continue their Zoom calls as well. We understand the youth group may have a little bit more than 12, but we also understand that a lot of their time that they like to spend together may be outside where they can spread out a lot easier. If you are on any of our church councils, if you're on the trustees or the ad board or Benton-Waller Church Councils, the SPRC, anything like that, we do have the church buildings open that you can use them for your meetings. You may also continue during Zoom, using Zoom call during this time. Now, with that being the case, if you do meet face to face, we would still encourage that you have Zoom available. For those who cannot make it or are not comfortable making it to be at that meeting face to face, but still are part of the team, still want to be part of the discussion. If your small group, Bible study, Sunday school class, or your council decides that you want to meet face to face, what you need to do next is you need to contact our church office and talk to our church administrator, Lori Sachs, either through email or through phone call to get set up. The reason being is we have only certain rooms that are available in our church buildings to be able to meet, and a lot of that is because of the space that is available in those rooms to be able to still socially distance and be safe. Now, contact Lori. She'll get you set up on the schedule of where you can meet, when. But the other thing with that is it also allows us to keep track of which groups are where, so we can make sure that it's sanitized for you before you get in there. In addition to the guidelines I've already presented of needing to keep your social distancing down, you also have to wear a face mask. We also would require you to take attendance at your meetings, at your Bible studies, small groups, your Sunday school classes. And the reason for that is so we can keep track if something were to happen in a couple days where somebody that was present at that meeting comes back and says, hey, I'm not feeling well, we can let the others that were in attendance at that time know, hey, this person's not feeling well, keep an eye out. It's all done for the care of those who may be more devastated by contracting a virus or an illness right now from somebody who's healthier, who may not show signs. It's all about caring for those who may not be able to fight it off as well as some others can. Now, as we move towards the green phase, which we do intend to meet face to face, it is our understanding that we would be able to jump from having 25 people present at worship to 250 people present at worship as a maximum. With that, the intention would be that we would resume our normal worship schedule of having one service at Waller, one service at Town Hill, and 2 services at Benton, so that way everybody would have a chance to come in and worship together. In addition to that, we will be posting our sermons online still, so if you are not feeling well, stay home and catch the service online. If you are not comfortable meeting face-to-face with people in a worship setting like that, please stay home and worship with us online. It will not be required to our understanding that you wear a face mask, but we will still strongly encourage that just for your own protection, for everybody's protection during this time. It is also our understanding that after the green phase will be the final step of fully reopening, not only for our churches, but for our local governments and our local businesses and economies. With that, of course, changes will happen as well. Please just bear with us. We are constantly monitoring what's going on. I'm monitoring it along with the rest of our pastoral staff, so that way we can adjust our guidelines and get back to worshiping face to face again as soon as possible, because we miss it as much as you do. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to the church office, and Lori will answer any questions she can as best as she can. If she doesn't have the answer, she'll pass that on to me or one of the other pastoral staff members, and we will go ahead and answer that question for you. When we do move to the green phase to reopening, we will plan to meet with our church councils, so that way we can all be on board with how the best way to do this will be, and we can make sure that we have everything that we need to do this safely and smartly. Thank you for joining us for this special announcement today. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page and our website for more information about this as we continue to evolve with this situation. And may God bless you.